All right, how fascinating is this? Just weeks after their meeting at Mar-a-Lago, Mark Zuckerberg's company Meta is now donating $1 million to President-elect Trump's inauguration. That's after Facebook suspended Trump after January 6th, and the president-elect threatened to throw Zuckerberg in jail if he interfered in this year's election. So it seems like they are finding a bridge to each other, and the president-elect says that Jeff Bezos also coming to see him next week. They have traded jabs in the past. The Amazon founder and Washington Post owner says he is very optimistic about a second Trump term, and he has offered to help reduce regulation. So fascinating to see the movement of these tech giants becoming more conservative, obviously interested in their own companies, but also lower regulation for the United States and for business, a more capitalist approach. So we'll see and cover all of that. In the meantime, President-elect Trump celebrating another triumph today in his unprecedented White House comeback. About 6 months ago, he became the first former commander-in-chief convicted of a crime. Remember this?
This was a rigged, disgraceful trial. The real verdict is going to be November 5th by the people.
Well, that was prescient. We all know what the American people decided on November the 5th in an overwhelming sweep of the swing states and the popular vote. And now, today, this is where the president-elect was this morning. Watch. It's just an incredible story, really, across the board. So the president-elect ringing the opening bell, first president to do that, or incoming president, at the New York Stock Exchange. He is Time's Person of the Year, and for good reason. What a story this has been over the course of this year. There he is on the cover, Time writing this, quote, Trump's political rebirth is unparalleled in American history. Alina Habba has been by his side throughout the course of this year, serving as his attorney and then a senior campaign advisor. She is now the incoming counselor to the president. Alina, your thoughts as we look at this image and the video. We remember the mugshots, the time at the courthouse, in those moments, which were pretty dark. And then you look at this morning, this really triumphant return for President-elect Trump, now at the New York Stock Exchange with a big smile. Person of the Year. What goes through your mind?
I'm proud. I'm very proud of him. Let me be very clear. While everybody was concerned and while those days were really dark, this man was never dark. He was always smiling. He was always happy. He was always fighting. And I say that in jest, given the fight, but really that's what he did. And they tried to knock him down in so many ways. And I think that what they did was they broke politics. Politics no longer became relevant. It became humanity. And I think we won on humanity. And I really do believe that, Martha. I believe people saw through the garbage, and they're tired of it. They're tired of all the bureaucrat stuff. They're tired of lobbyists. They're tired of everything, indoctrination. They just saw a human being being attacked politically, and they said, that's just not our America. And they spoke loudly on November 5th. And I've spoken hypothetically on this show for years now. And now we've won, and he deserves it. He really does, and his family does. Look at how beautiful Melania looked today. I was dying. I mean, the whole story, history will be kind to this man. He has persevered through more than anybody should.
Yeah, his story is incredible. When you look at what he has, all the firsts of this, some very difficult that we just talked about, and some very triumphant. The assassination attempt in July, I think, was a real turning point. I think about Mark Zuckerberg saying, you can't look at that and say that's not the most badass thing you've ever seen. So we see these tech giants kind of migrating to support. They were always supporting Democrat candidates. So I think there is a real shift happening. And as a journalist, it's fascinating to watch this. As someone who has covered several presidencies now, I find it so interesting to watch all of this unfold. It's the optimism thing. The 54% in our poll say that they feel very hopeful. And some of those are people who did not feel that way the last time around. What do you anticipate in terms of your role at the White House as White House counsel? How will you be involved in what's to come?
First and foremost, anybody asked to serve this country in such an honorable role, or any role, frankly, it's a responsibility that I take very seriously, but an honor. I told the president, I am there to do whatever it is you need me to do, and that's the truth. But I will say, what a great privilege. I will be there to advise. I will be there to help with policies that are important. I know that for me, obviously, lawfare and all of the things that Pam Bondi is going to focus on are top of mind because of what we've lived for the last 3.5 years. But I will tell you, I'm ready to get to work, and that's on all things that we need to do to fix this country.
It's going to be very interesting. Are you talking to former White House counsels, Alina? I've only got a few seconds, but is that part of your prep?
Yes, I've spoken to Kellyanne. Kellyanne reached out to me, counselor. She was an amazing, big shoes to fill, but she was one of the first people that reached out to me. She was lovely.
Great. Alina Habba, thank you.
Click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You won't get it anywhere else.